All right, welcome into another edition of NFT Live. We're bringing you the news from around the industry. We're just getting after it in the non-fungible token space. Welcome into everybody that just joined us. We just pressed play. We got an awesome episode with the Nifty Castle crew, with Witchy GF, with Sketchnate, with Gifdead. It's going to be a good time, man. We're going to have ourselves a great episode here. We thank you for being here. Ronan, I thank you for being here, man. What's up?
Q, you're welcome for me being here. Not much, man. It's been good. It's a good week. As always in this space, man, it's been crazy. Lots of stuff going on. Good stuff, bad stuff, weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's all types of stuff to talk about. But I'm super excited for our guest, Witchy GF. DB's being one of those first, like, NFT projects that I feel like a lot of people jumped into. And, I've got my handful of DBs. I'm super excited for Witchy GF. I think the art looks sick, and the fact that I didn't even know this until I went to ETH Denver last week. The fact that they're all animated with the animated backgrounds and stuff is like sick, dude. So
did y'all get to connect while you were in ETH Denver? Did you connect with the Nifty Castle crew?
Yeah, absolutely. First night there, like, I went and hooked up with Gifdead and checked out the event that they threw, which was super cool. They had like a rapper come through to do a live performance. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time.
Dope, man. Guys, I see a lot of people in the house. They are saying OVOT, our vibe, our tribe. We have an awesome community of NFT enthusiasts. We got a lot of good creators that have created on our channel. GIF, Art Start Now. I got to give you all a shout out on Saturdays. You, Lolo Menthol, and Woboy get after it there as well. So it's fun to see good people win, man. I had Crypto Stash on the channel on Thursday for my podcast, and Nifty Castle is also one of those communities, one of those creators that it's awesome to see win in the space, especially as we blow up and we see people like Kevin get 70 mil and get, dropped in the space. Pixelmon, if you don't know what I'm referring to, you're about to know. We've got some highlights there as well to hit on. But yeah, it's just going to be a good time, and we're always happy to have the Nifty Castle crew in, man.
Yeah, I look. I think, like, when you talk about long-term, like, longevity in the space, like, these guys have been doing it for a while. And when I look at, like, projects that I actually want to partake in and communities that I, like, really enjoy, the Nifty Castle crew and DBs and, hopefully Witchy GF to come, I'm sure you'll find, like, an excellent community to take part of. So super excited for that one, dude.
Yeah, we've got a couple giveaways to go along with this episode as well. If you are a noble in LADZ City, meaning you hold LADZ tokens, 5,250 tokens, and you are a noble in LADZ City, we have 2 DBs to give away. It's ongoing right now. I think it's actually going to pop during the episode. We're going to figure out the winners. But we also have another one. Go to @NFT Live on Twitter, and you can enter. All you got to do is comment on your favorite NFT project. We kind of set you all up. If you're not saying Nifty Castle, I don't know. We kind of really set y'all up. But anyways, we have that giveaway going on. You guys can hit it. And we will get into a little bit of the news that we wanted to hit right off the bat. First of all, Music Mondays, Louis C. Rhymes and the crew had a great episode with Black Dave last night. If you don't know what Music Mondays is, you need to hit this episode. It's like Art Start Now, man. Like, it's just getting started. It's so under the radar. They handle the music. Art Start Now handles the art and in that industry. So it's a really cool combination we have. But they had a great episode last night if you want to check it out. I've got 2 things to play before we get into the episode. One is going to be an announcement from Aavegotchi. We got this trailer from Aavegotchi. It's like it's not a trailer, it's like a hype to a trailer. And this actually came from their Twitter. They said, official Gotchiverse trailer dropping soon. You are not ready for this, friends. I've got Aavegotchi on the channel tomorrow. They're on my podcast tomorrow. We're going to be hearing what the hell is going on in this little trailer and much more, of course. And then second, I've got Young Content in the house, man. Another great content creator. It's just a family affair today. But he's always been pushing Huxley, man. And Huxley had an amazing trailer that I'm not even going to, like, say anything about this. I'm going to let the trailer speak for its damn self. Do you have anything for the Huxley trailer that we're about to show, Ronan?
No, just like I wouldn't have expected anything less from Ben Morrow. Like, this was super impressive, and I'm really happy to see how NFT projects that are handled properly can really give creators the platform to, like, really achieve, like, some really cool shit. And this is, like, somebody who's been building this IP on his own on the side for a decade. Right. And now to see him, like, be able to, like, actually bring that to fruition, have a comic book series, have this animated, trailer drop for a cinematic trailer. I'm hype, and I'm really, really looking forward to it, especially after watching that trailer. Right.
Yeah, and the cinematic trailer we're about to play is basically hyping up a new movie that's going to come out based on that IP that Ben Morrow's building. So enjoy it. We'll see you on the other side.
What do you think it is? It's glorious. It's dangerous out there. The city provides protection and some sort of order to this chaos. If we follow the rules and keep our heads down, there's nothing to worry about.
Find me when you wake up, Huxley.
I'm sorry you have to come back to our faces after that trailer. That was an absolutely fantastic piece of content there from the Huxley team. If you don't know what Huxley's got going on, they just released an episode 3 series that completely sold out. There were some issues. I mean, it happens in the space a lot more than you think it does. We can, definitely jump into Huxley here on the channel when we have Ben Morrow on again. I think the Art Start Now crew even interviewed him, which I could touch on with GIF when he comes on. But what do you think, Ronan, before we move on into Witchy GF?
If I can get this eyelash out of my eye. Dude, the trailer is so insane. It's so cool to check this out, to see this idea, right? This creation that Ben had, and to see it like come to life like that, I bet was super exciting for him, but even more so, right, for the community that has been, investing in the project. And this is one of those great examples of how NFTs can be used almost like in the same way as Kickstarter, where they can help really push a project that has a really good foundational like idea and IP, and bring it to the next level and give it the opportunity to grow and have wings and to be seen, right, by people. So I think, Ben's the first person to tell you that he didn't know if this would ever happen in comic book form, let alone, video games and movies and things like that. And all these things are now opening up because of the popularity that the NFT collection has had, and for the funds that they've raised thanks to the NFTs, right? So yeah, dude, this is a great example of a cool project that's got cool IP that hopefully does extremely well and can show others how you can utilize NFTs to really like bring a brand to to life.
You hit on it 100%. This is a little bit of the roadmap. As we can see, there's a game in development. Metaverse experiences are loading. So a lot of things happening here within the Huxley platform, man. Young Content told me to get in like 10 years ago. And I bought some of Ben Morrow's original Evolution stuff, which is dope, and I'm going to hold that for a long time. But he was like, Huxley, Huxley, Huxley. Just like Lander was telling me cyberconks. And I don't know what the fuck I was doing. But you know what? We all have misses in the space, of course. But yeah, shout out to both of those guys bringing the alpha. All right, Ronan, hit him with the CTA. We'll go into Witchy GF.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys are enjoying the content that you're watching today, hitting the like button goes a really long way, helps a lot to get us seen and to get the algorithm to enjoy or to like us and put us in front of more people, so the content continues to grow. We do appreciate you guys doing that. Subscribing also does that, but it also makes sure that you catch all the other excellent shows that we have here on the network, like Art Start Now, Music Mondays, and everything else that we've got going on throughout the week. Lastly, if you don't mind, you can copy and paste that link to the show right now with some of your friends, maybe somebody who's really interested in the NFT space, where they can appreciate the alpha that we're dropping live. So outside of that, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Thanks to chat for everybody who's hanging out and keeping us, going. Other than that, man, I'm looking forward to having Sketchnate and Rich roll through and have a chat about Witchy GF.
1000%. Cody, Hash Rhymes, Enrich Studios, Xplow, Jessica, Jacob, DP, Young Content, Tony, Nifty Castle is in the house and also in chat. That's how you know. Moira, let's see. I just want to hit everybody that's in the house. Appreciate your comments. The episodes are always better when you guys are contributing. But as Ronan said, we do have to get to Witchy GF here. We have an awesome trailer. We played this last week, but it deserves a double play. We have Sketchnate, the artist, on this series here, this drop, if you will, putting together a pretty dope video. And then on the other end of it, we've got Gifdead, and we have Sketchnate here to talk Witchy GF. So enjoy the video. We'll see you when you get back.
What's up, babies? Welcome to the Witchy GF process video. You'll get to see some of my process from sketch to finished project, and also this footage of me biting into an unpeeled banana. First, I started with some preliminary sketches of what I wanted the witches to look like, notes on different familiars I wanted to include, also magic types I thought would look interesting. I filled a few pages with that, and then it was onto the digital stage, half of which consists of me screaming at my tablet to work. I spent a lot of weeks drawing hundreds of different accessories, characters, eyes, mouths, hairstyles, so many that when it was done I had made over 600 accessories, and I don't even know how to count that high. After that it was time to animate. The avatars are all built in Photoshop, so it just made things simpler to use Photoshop's motion workspace and animate the magic circles frame by frame. Each of the magic circles is associated with a specific type of magic, so there's a ton of different visuals to incorporate. Once that's all done, I send it off to our programmer Arvet, and he runs it through his homebrewed program that combines all the elements randomly based on different rarity values and exclusionary parameters that allows the witches to come out looking a heck of fresh. You hear that? I know, big words. After that, the team and I go through every single one of the witches to make sure that they meet our standards and that nothing is off. Hey, no, bad, get out, bad, you're wrong, that's wrong, get out. Thanks for coming along this journey with me. I love you, poopies, bye-bye.
All right, and we have the co-creators and Sketchnate, the beautiful creator of Witchy GF and that awesomely cut video. Guys, how are we doing today?
Great.
So good. Yo, any day that I get to hang out and talk with you two lads and the LADZ City crew is an amazing day. Like, I'm Gifdead the grateful every day, but especially today to be hanging out with y'all. And especially with Sketchnate. This is like a special occasion. I don't get to do interviews with Sketchnate. So this is cool.
No.
Sketch, how was it? How was it seeing your video? Like, how was it watching yourself here live? How many was that?
I don't like watching myself at all. But especially biting into that banana again. I've seen that clip so many times, and it's still disgusting. I can still taste it.
I bet. I'm the same with you. I never watch my own content. But dude, we appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out and talking a little bit about, what you guys got going on. Obviously, a lot of the fam know you guys from DBs and kind of what you did there. But I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the origin of Witchy GF. How did this even get started? Was it a conversation? Was it hey, where did the DBs live and what's the universe like and who's a companion? Or where does this play into the whole Nifty Castle thing? And kind of give us an idea of the origins of Witchy GF, and then we can kind of go from there.
Heck yeah. There's so much to say. Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Sorry, no, Gift, you can start it off.
Well, first, before we got into our stuff, I had to shout out Music Mondays because I was watching Black Dave and Natalie Crew yesterday, and I those are two OGs in the space that literally shepherded, with us Clubhouse January, February when we were first getting in. Black Dave has been one of the people that I've looked up to most in the entire space, and Natalie Crew is right up there too, right? And so to get to see both of them hanging out and talking, so they're brilliant. So it's a real opportunity to get to listen to them talk about music and NFTs. And so I love that, and I hope that everybody will check that out. So yeah, shout out Black Dave, much respect, and Natalie Crew, much respect. And I think it's so dope that they're now part of the LADZ City Network crew too. Yeah, I just think that's amazing. So Our Vibe, Our Tribe. Had to shout that out. As far as our stuff, Witchy GF, like how it got going. So we had such an awesome time, working with Sketchnate and developing the DBs project. And we always knew, that we were gonna like Sketchnate has this world called Interrobang in his head, where the DBs come from, where the witches come from. And so it was always kind of like a hope that we would get to keep developing this world. And so when Sketchnate, started creating this new idea and talking to us about it, we already were just kind of like, yes, let's keep developing it. And this was about 5 or 6 months ago, so this has been in development for like going on 6 months now. But yeah, Nate, if you want to talk about the art, because there's a little bit of a story behind the art.
Yeah, so I mean, it mostly started. I just started drawing portraits of girls because I mean, if you're familiar with my stuff, it's a lot of like teddy bears or muscly frogs and stuff, like a lot of weird stuff. And then yeah, I was like, I'll try drawing girls for once, and people loved it. Like they kind of, it was like one of my most popular posts on Instagram. I think I posted 2 of them to Twitter, and that got popular. So I was like, okay, so clearly people are into this. So I thought, and this is like right in the middle of DB, so I was like, okay, well, maybe we can expand on this. And I mean, I love the process of making projects like this, because it's like those paper doll things, or even like there was like dress up games on like Newgrounds when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And not the lewd ones, but they exist. And it's like that. It's really cool, just like having like a base and then just expanding on it, and like seeing what you can put together and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing, no crazy story, at least on my end. It's just I like making this, and people liked the portrait, so I thought, let's combine the likes together.
Yeah, definitely. And the biggest difference I'm seeing, between DBs and Witchy GF obviously being the animation. Like, was that a new process for you? Is that something that you had to kind of like learn? Okay, how do we like animate like my 2D art, and like how did that go for you? I see GIF kind of smiling a little there.
Yeah, I had to fight GIF on this because he's like, we're gonna animate all of it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to animate all of this. But we cut down the amount I was animating, and like, so now it's going to be in waves, essentially, that like more and more things about the portraits will be animated. But yeah, it's I'm not unfamiliar with it. I don't, because like the video said, I animated it all in Photoshop, which is not the easiest process, because it's without getting too deep into it, it's essentially like it's almost like 2 different timelines you're working with, rather than just like, here's an asset and move it on this timeline. It's like, so I'm doing it frame by frame, like a new drawing for the most part. So it's interesting. I'll say.
It's a lot of work is what he's trying to say. And so there is actually a fun, behind the scenes story with the animations, right? Because, this is a next step. DBs was our first project, and literally it was just, Woe Boy, Sketchnate, and I basically like figuring stuff out. We started building that in like March, April of 2021. It was just us 3. We didn't have a team. We didn't have a bunch of devs working. So like DBs was a massive learning experience, and figuring out how to, go from 60 traits and maybe 100 characters, and then scale that up to 3,053 unique characters with 9,000 pieces of art. Like, we handmade every single piece of DB's art, which is an insane thing. And so this is really that next step, like taking all of our learnings from the DBs. How do we create the next level project? How do we expand on this universe that Sketchnate has in his head? And so for me, animation is like a differentiator. There's a ton of static PFP and avatar photo, NFT projects out there, but there's not that many really cool animated avatar projects. And we're also working on a game, things like that we can get into. But to me, creating some really nice animations and having them all be animated was going to be one of the things that kind of leveled up this project and made it stand out from a bunch of the other noise and a bunch of the other projects. However, to Sketchnate's point, like, he is, first of all, like an absolute superstar madman who's created, like, we just found out it's over 800 unique traits now. and he's hand drawing all of this stuff. And when he's talking about the animation, he's literally doing frame by frame animations. So as a perfectionist, like Sketchnade is, you can imagine like when I'm coming to him saying, "Hey, we're going to create almost 8,000 unique animated NFTs." He's like, "What? Like, nah,
crying internally.
I can't do that." And so we definitely had a lot of back and forth of like, convincing, figuring out like how can we achieve this so that when we launch on March 14th, and pre-sales on March 12th, by the way, pre-sale starts March 12th, public mint is on March 14th, but it's how do we accomplish this so that when we do launch on March 14th, all of them are animated. And so the sort of compromise that we came to is that we're going to start with animated magic circles. So behind all the witches, they have a trait called a magic circle. So you can see it there moving a little bit. And so when it launches, all of the magic circles will be animated. So all the witches will launch animated. But one of the things that we're doing on the roadmap that is really interesting and cool is that to give Sketchnade a little bit more time, we're going to roll out more animated features. So the familiars are like the little pets. So you can see like right there next to that queen, I think that's the Breezy Queen. She's got a little familiar, like the little monkey on a cloud. So like we're going to be animating familiars and then some of the other traits as well. So so you can see 75% sold. That's where we put it on the roadmap. But all that does is it allows us to launch with all of them being animated, but then build on them a little bit and give Sketchnade a little bit more time because of how intensive his animation process is.
Yeah, you mentioned that it started with DBs, and I remember having you on. The first time I think I met you was when you came on to NFT Live, and you were talking about DBs, you were talking about Nifty Castle, and at the time, like Witchy GF wasn't into existence, but the idea of the studio made sense, right? Like, but it's so cool to see that come to fruition over time, that now we see the next iteration of what Nifty Castle's put it out, and you also have utility that you can build off of DBs. So can you mention that utility with the DBs piece and like what DBs holders are getting? And Carrots, I believe, and King Ali were the winners in LADZ City for one free DB. So you guys are actually going to be able to mint as well and get on this wish list. But Gif,
yes.
if you can answer that question that I had, if you remember it.
Yeah, well, let's go. Congrats to y'all for winning. Yes, and I just have to say briefly, of course, we are again, you mentioned actually y'all were the first people to ever do a live interview with Nifty Castle or DBs or anything. That started our whole journey here with the lads and Art Starting Now and all that, and Ronan, like thank you, but Nifty Q, everybody, even Tigbo now, who's helping set this up, like we love and appreciate the lads so much. So we had to bring some gifts. So there's 3 DBs that were given away. It looks like 2 of them just got one, which is awesome. So that's exciting. I have one other sort of gift before I jump into the answer, and that is that we technically were supposed to close the witch list, like the Wave 1 guaranteed pre-sale list, last night at midnight. But because we're doing this right now, we basically decided we're going to leave the witch list open until end of day today. So for anybody watching this, if you haven't gotten on the witch list, that is your guaranteed pre-sale spot. Go to niftycastle.io/witchlist. Get on it because we're closing it. And then the only way that you're going to be able to get on is through giveaways and through partnerships. So that's the other thing that we wanted to do for the lads because we appreciate y'all so much. Yes, and to those who won DBs, let's talk about the DBs utilities, because for us at the Nifty Castle, for the DBs, our entire mission is to find different ways to keep building and rewarding our OG collectors, our OG believers. And so Witchy GF is a big way that we're going to be doing that. So there's a ton of utilities, special utilities just for DBs holders in the Witchy GF project. One of them is that you get a free mint. So for those that just want a DB, again, congrats. Not only can you now claim your X-ray DB, so you get the skull, you get another DB NFT for your DB, like a companion for your DB. You're also going to get a free Witchy GF mint in the pre-sale. So every DB's holder will get one free mint. you also will be included in the guaranteed pre-sale and get additional mints. And your DBs are going to actually impact the special abilities in the game. And yeah, was that Pixelmon again? Yo, I love the troll with the Pixelmon. So thank you for that.
I got
But
you. I
yeah,
got you on that.
yeah, I love it.
Are we going to talk about what
Th-
that is? Because I saw it pop up on Twitter and it looks interesting.
It's actually that's yeah, that's actually one of the stories we plan on covering once we're done here. But like yeah,
Perfect.
Pixelmon was like, it's just like, yeah, you guys can hang out in the wings when we're done. You can get the down.
That's
We
what
don't wanna take up
70
your
mil
time.
looks like, Sketch Nate. That's what real art looks like, okay, Nate?
True.
I
That's
should
what
have known.
hype cycles look like.
It's absolute quality. This is quality.
Yeah, but you know what? This
Um,
is like this is a great example for why I've always been so proud to call us like the anti-hype. You know what I mean? It's like
mm-hmm.
we aren't hyping up a bunch of stuff. We're not taking VCs. This has always been a community-driven, ground-up project for us. And you know, going back to the story of how we discovered Sketchnate in the first place, like he came into one of our early Nifty Castle rooms on Clubhouse and wasn't talking, but like we looked at his art and fell in love with him and knew that he was a superstar that nobody had discovered. And so literally we started sourcing artists and ideas from our community and then developing those into crypto native brands and IP. So DBs is the first crypto skate brand. Witchy GF is the second brand under the Nifty Castle umbrella. And this one's focused on empowering women artists. So we actually have more women on the Witchy GF team than men now. We just got about a week or two ago, Crystal Legoff, who's like this super talented snowboarder chick, digital artist. She just joined the team, and now we have 6 women and 5 men on the Witchy GF team, which is amazing. But yeah, I love the Pixelmon example of what's wrong with this whole hype cycle nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you look, shout out to you guys for that, man. Like I think right now we're seeing like a huge movement as far as like, empowering like females in the space and making sure like they get to sit at the table and be part of the conversation and be part of these projects, right? Like it's sitting like and actually like helping us like create Web3 and what thing is going to be. So it's awesome to see you guys like putting a focus on that. I did have a question. I totally forgot it like while we were chatting. As far as like the DBs and the utility there. So like some of that alpha was definitely the fact that like if you have a DBs, right, like and you're minting with EGF, there might be a little something special as far as those traits are concerned. Did you say that?
Yeah. So okay, this is where like this. There's
Too
actually
much
a really
alpha?
deep project. No, it's good. This is a really deep project, but this is something we could talk about for an hour, right? So like we'll try and talk about it quickly. But we've been working on a game for this for a while, and just to try and summarize like how it all works, there's 28 different magic types. So there's 28 different queens in the collection, and each queen basically represents one of the different magic types. All of the traits, which again, there's like over 800 unique traits, but they all correspond to these different magic types. Your DBs will actually, affect the special abilities and the magic of your witches when they mint as well, which will then factor into the game. So the amount of work that's gone into a project like this is really insane, because when you look at, see, there's the queens, the sacred, the wicked, the maidens. There's the sacred and the wicked are the key factions. In the lore, there's this rift between the sacred sister and the wicked sister witches. And so those break off into the key factions. And so then there's certain traits that only exist within those factions. And then all of this, again, across 800 different traits and across these different factions, has to all be balanced out in the special abilities and the magical abilities that go into the game. So we're about to publish a light paper in the next couple of days that outlines exactly how the game works, all these details, so we can go more into it there. But one of the like big alpha pieces that we haven't shared anywhere, that I will share right now just for y'all, is that we are dedicating 56% of all of the secondary sales to a rewards pool for the game. So 56%, more than half of all of our secondary sales
Play
on
to
Witchy GF.
earn. Let's
And
go.
well, so we're being very careful about calling it play to earn just because we haven't yet set up our own currency, but there will be like own cryptocurrency. Like we haven't gotten to that point just yet, but there will be Essence, which will be a digital currency that will earn rewards that is attached to that rewards pool. So play to earn, sure, but like we're being very careful again about how we roll this out, position it, because we know that a lot of people, when you put the title play to earn on something, they expect that cryptocurrency already, and we haven't developed that part of it yet, right? So again, from our experience, we're not trying to overpromise and underdeliver. We're wanting to underpromise and overdeliver, hopefully. And so we're just being very careful about defining it as play to earn, even though there is a rewards pool and there is a game that gets you access to that rewards pool. So, you know,
Ronan, we need like a horn to play here. Like when there's a major alpha drop, we like mer, 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 like a little Louis C. Rhymes horn.
Give everyone like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
See, I got one question because we do have to let you guys go here. But this has been a fantastic breakdown, man, and thanks for breaking down the utility as well. Just a little bit more of the story, Sketch Nate. What have you learned about yourself as an artist through both of these drops?
My resilience. No, I mean, I don't know that I've learned anything. I feel like it's improved my abilities maybe a little bit, just because like I have to like, I mean, I rarely leave my computer when I'm like at all, because everything I need, like my sketchbooks are right here, my drawing programs are here, my tablet's here. So I'm constantly drawing, but this is like concentrating on one specific thing. I think like you hone skills towards that. I mean, working on DBs, that was the first time I think I'd done something specifically like that. And then having worked on DBs, I got to, I think, I just like this whole project is an expansion in every direction on what we did with DBs. And I think I think it shows, just because of the all the different things that interact with each other, the different accessories we have, and yeah, I mean, and just the fact that there's a game and everything. It's just, yeah, it's been a really interesting and rewarding experience, I guess, to be cheesy about it.
he undersells himself really hard. Like the whole video, that y'all showed at the front, where he's kind of just joking around and but kind of showing the work. Like the amount of work that Sketchnate does, like he's an absolute monster. And I've been saying this since day one. He's a creative genius. And so if y'all don't know Sketchnate, give him a follow. His TikToks are hilarious too. But I could not be more excited to be working with Sketchnate, continuing to work with him and build his world of Interrobang through DBs, through Witchy GF. And yeah, he really undersells himself, because y'all, the art has always come first with us, and there's over 800 hand-drawn traits, all hand animated. It's like this, like the rarity on this, because there's so many traits. Like Bored Apes only had 158 traits, and there's 10,000 supply. 158 traits. There's over 800 traits on this.
No
So it's
BAYC
like,
FUD here, dude. Come on.
no, I love BA. I mean, come on. No, like
Just numbers.
none at
That's just
all.
numbers. Like,
I know,
yeah,
I'm
when you
just
talk
doing
about like
numbers,
rarity, it makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
There's not gonna be a lot of witches that are closely alike. That's what that means. There's gonna be an unparalleled amount of rarity in this project, because the artistic value is there. Like Sketchnate has really put in the work, and so yeah, he undersells himself, but this guy's a freaking genius, man.
On what you were saying about the rarity of different things, it's like I say this every time we have a room or something about this, but it's so cool, like QAing, like going through all the art and seeing all the different, like it's I I I I feel weird getting hyped on my own stuff, but it's like seeing how different each of them look compared to each other. Like some of them look like completely different projects, and it's really
Mm.
insane. Just like the way that it's like it's all in the same style. It's all like the same sort of color palette ish, and like, but it just combines into like these crazy different people that look like they have their own lives almost. Like it's strange. Yeah, but it's I like it a
Well,
lot.
That's great to hear. And I think that like, when I talk to potential clients about like strategy and stuff, like especially like the ones that are considering doing PFPs or anything of that sort, the one thing that I like always talk about is like when you look at like when you pull them up on OpenSea or secondary, whatever, you want to avoid like the floor, like the most common ones, like all looking alike and all looking plain. Right. So like giving like some cool traits to being common and flipping them and having that many traits to where like you can scroll for a second and feel like the vibe is different for all of them is really important. So I think like with that many traits, it's bound to be a good experience. And I think that's like what helps drive some of these, sales is just like being able to uniquely like look at all these different options and be like, this is the one that's me. And like, that feels like me. And I think that, with the limited amount they had, Bored Apes did that really well. And part of why I think they do well continuously is because when you're looking at the floor is not unattractive, right? Like the floor apes are still like good looking apes and you're still, you can still build that connection. So I definitely think Witchy GF will hit that. And dude, I can't wait. I'm super excited for it. I've got 5, I think, DBs. So I'm ready to cash in some for some Witchy GFs and then also pick up some. So I'm hyped, dude. Congratulations. The art looks excellent, Nate, and I'm looking forward to taking part in that drop.
Dude, thanks, y'all. Y'all are legends. Shout out lads. Our vibe, our tribe. Art's starting now on Saturdays. But yeah, make sure to get on the wish list, niftycastle.io/wishlist, because it has to close today. We already kept it open just for y'all, so it's got to close today. But yeah, no, thank you, Nifty Q, Ronan, Tigbo. Like, appreciate y'all so heckin' much, man. Y'all are the best. Like, straight up.
Big
man, we appreciate you.
Nate, I appreciate you too, bro. Like, honestly, it's good. This is my first time meeting you, but I'm excited to connect with both of y'all IRL.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Take it easy, guys.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Yeah.
I love that group, man. Rich is so like genuine, and to see like this next step of like what they're doing with Nifty Castle, and to see DBs have finally sold out, recently is really, really, I don't even know. Heartwarming is probably the best way to put it. So.
I agree. Nifty Castle's awesome. That group, I mean, I'm going to say it over and over because as the space gets bigger, it's going to be more and more noise. There's teams that are building cool shit, and that's, at the end of the day, what we want to highlight here on NFT Live. So hopefully y'all got some good information out of that interview. There was a little bit of alpha drop there. There's a Nifty Castle token potentially in the works, or which he dropped a lot. So hopefully y'all got something out of it. So
yeah, I know I did.
Yeah, I did as well. So again, congratulations to Carrots and King Ali who won the DBs here in LADZ City. There is one more to be given away there on Twitter, so follow us at NFT Live and you can retweet and comment on that as well. Listen, I don't have much time left. The interview, as always, goes a little long. But we do have one big piece of news that we want to cover. There were a couple comments here on Pixelmon's Reveal. I know we wanted to start with Doodles running, but I'm going to go right into it. So we had this is the sitch. Pixelmon raised 70 mil. We talked about this project about 2 weeks ago. They raised $70 million. It was this sandbox derivative. I'll pull it up here on my screen in a second, but it's this sandbox derivative project. Give you a little bit of taste here. You can see the guy running around. This trailer. What?
I was gonna say, I want you to show them this trailer, and then yes. I want you to show them the reveal.
Oh, we're hitting the reveal. I just wanted to give them a little taste. This trailer raised 70 mil, folks. Right here, this sandbox, like they're gonna bring, I don't know, Valheim into sandbox, and they had all these other things. Utility. There's a token, guys. There's a token here. There's land. There's early access. $70 fucking million. And then we were waiting for the reveal. Everyone's, kind of just holding on, right? They spent 3 ETH. This was a 3 ETH drop.
Refresh metadata. Refresh metadata.
We had to wait for the drop, and we had a reveal, and boy, did it go off really well. Here we go. We've got the reveal for Pixelmon queued up. This is a live piece right here, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. And that was what they got. This Kevin is what they got. $70 million, and they got bullshit. They got Kevin here with the guys, and we're going to touch on this in a second, but an absolutely disrespectful drop for the holders, for these guys to come out and actually do the reveal. I have no words for what's happening here.
This was the epitome of what I think is wrong with this space right now. And then you degens take it a step further because Kevin's floor is like 7 ETH now. Okay. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. 7 ETH and my G-Vols are still sitting at like 0.25 or something. Like a project that has music and unique art and figures and swag, and Kevin gets 40 grand.
Kevin gets 40 grand floor. A lot of other people are wrecked. If you don't own a Kevin, what is it within as well? Because we're pulling it up here. Is it a species? Is Kevin a species? What's happening here? What filter is it? Because one of these filters has freaking Kevins on it. I'm doing this right now. So we're
that's
figuring
the problem.
it out.
I don't really know. Everybody just knows him as Kevin. If somebody in chat can tell you like what the trait is called,
he's special.
Kevin.
It's literally a trait. The floors.
I didn't realize Kevin was a real. Wait a minute.
It's a real trait. No, they're all the same. This is the problem.
Wait, so they're not all unique either, huh?
No. This whole thing is a sham, and they didn't call it back and say, "Hey, we raised 70 mil. Maybe these things are not the way to go." Let me get out of Kevin really quick. But we can see that there are floor Kevins that are going for 7. This thing is a viral meme. He will be around forever. You know, if you multiply Super Yetis to the upteenth power and throw it to the moon, that's what you have here with Kevin's. You essentially have a piece of shit asset that's turned into a meme, and now it's super valuable. But everyone else
Speaking
is
of, the other big news of today was Super Yetis hired a community manager, which I also thought was which I also thought was a meme, because I saw the tweet and I was like, this dude's trolling, and he got like 800 likes. And then I go into the thing, and brother, he got hired as the dude. They got a new community. Shout out to ARAM, I think, or something like that. ADHD, that's his name. ADHD. You are the new community manager for Super Yeti. He said he was so proud. The space diverse. But look, realistically speaking, like, this is where you feel bad for people who like are just learning their lesson, right? Because people were buying in at 4 ETH, right? 3 ETH, like, and like they were like, I'm hyped. This is gonna go to 10, right? And unfortunately, I got it wrong. Azuki or whatever didn't like do the Mechaverse, right? We ended up with Pixelmon pulling a Mechaverse and Invisible Friends. You know, if you got an Invisible Friends, I feel bad. Like if you picked up a pre-reveal 7, 8 ETH and it's down to I think 4 or 5 now, right? So, but this is dangerous, man. You're playing with a lot of money, and these are not the projects that you want to be associated with. Even if it is for like the meme, because people think it's funny and someone's going to end up holding the bag.
Well, what is the case study here for why this got what it did? Like, it was
hype. The case study is Mechaverse. The case study is all these other projects that can build hype without, and we bring it on ourselves. We keep throwing $70 million at projects like this and acting like it's okay to do so.
Yeah.
Next time we should demand all of these reveals.
If I was the founder of this project, I would have said, guys, we're going to hold off on reveal for about a month and then scrambled to get something out that's not this. But, like you talked about this earlier, man, how there's like this really cool effect where if you buy into a project and it's like a Huxley, it can have like a flywheel effect for that whole platform. This is the opposite. You actually lose all your money. No, these people aren't hopefully they put it to good use. By the way, we have the tweet from the team. I'm going to throw this tweet out, and then we do have to get running here soon, Ronan, but this is the tweet from Pixelmon after they raised 70 mil. It's an absolute meme. We now have everything we need to build one of the biggest games in the NFT space. This is absolute troll fest.
Hold on. The video game might actually be cool. And part of the art just might not be. I don't know, man. All I know is like we gotta expect better out of these projects, and stop throwing your money at them, and really make them like work for 70 mil. This is nutty, dude. It's really kind of crazy. So
yeah,
we gotta do better.
Until then, we do have, Kevin is kind of taking over here. We got Kevin for president. Kevin is the culture. Kevin is that asset is going to be, if you're lucky if you got the Kevin, because that asset is now again part of meme history and part of NFT history. So, dude, I think we do have to run. One of the things I do like we'll talk about here, in the next coming weeks is maybe doing Twitter Spaces where we could hit on like a lot of some of these other stories. I think that would be a cool thing to do on like NFT Live Twitter, because there's not as much, that goes into, there's a lot that goes into these episodes, guys. Like you're saying, why are we starting at 3:05? Well, there's a shit ton of these things to get together, the ducks in a row. So we did have some Doodles talk that we wanted to hit. Did you want to touch on Doodles, like in a lightning round?
What I was trying to do is show the juxtaposition between a good project and a Pixelmon, right? Like you look at Doodles, and Doodles did something really cool, right? Like one, they dropped these spaceships. You can go, you can look, you can like. And the spaceships are really freaking cool. But what I love about it is that they did it in a non inflationary way, which means that to get your spaceship, to have access to that NFT, you actually have to wrap your doodle itself into the spaceship to be able to get your spaceship. Now, very cool. Unfortunate for some people who decided to sell their spaceships last night for 5, 7, 8 ETH, which is about half the floor of a doodle, and didn't realize that they had wrapped their doodle in the spaceship. So, again, when we talk about like projects and making sure that you're educated, make sure you're doing your own research, because you want to make sure that you don't make a mistake like selling a doodle for half price because you thought you were just selling your spaceship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're cool. And I think that this is a project. They made you wait. You knew they were going to do spaceships. It's been 2 months since they said they were going to do spaceships. And then, 24-hour warning. Hey, guys, doodles are hitting space. And then eventually they do. And like, I don't know. It's just weird to see like something like Pixelmon and how that plays out to these other projects. So,
yeah. Rightfully, some of these blue chips are legitimate, right? Like Doodles is a great example. Like they're just killing it, and they have a really high floor price. The market value of that project is really high. They, in some ways or fashions, deserve it. There's a lot of underrated projects that are putting in the same amount of work as Doodles in the same product, and not getting the 20 floors, and they just got to keep grinding, man, at the end of the day. Like, and that's what I love about having Witchy Witchy GF and Nifty Castle here, is that eventually that is going to be the case for them. Eventually that is going to be the case for them. So it's exciting to see those projects, just like when we had Ben Morrow on, and now Huxley's absolutely kicking ass, so we're always about highlighting good projects in the space. But we do have to run. Ronan, you got any last thoughts here from today's episode or the industry in general?
No, but I will say, like, I don't have very many like projects that I'm looking forward to, but Witchy GF, I'm like legit, like I can't wait to like mint some of these Witchy GFs, man. They look so cool. Like I love the vibe, I love the team, I love everybody involved, and I think that like if you look at a project that's worth being a part of the community, like the Nifty Castle community is right on. So looking forward to that one, and yeah, appreciate those guys coming through.
All right, appreciate you guys. Digits, X Wow, Marty McFly, Rich. We got Space Smells Like, Mylene, Sketch Nate's in the house. We got, what else? Jessica's in that. Like, we had so many people come through today's episode. Ronan, I'll let you take us out. But I appreciate you guys so much on NFT Live, covering every week, Tuesdays, Fridays. Come and hang out with us. But Ronan, you got it, man.
Yep. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. That's our vibe, our tribe.